This episode is dedicated to my father, who died 15 years ago in November. It is inspired by the Australian nurse Bronnie Ware, who spent several years working in palliative care, caring for patients in the last 12 weeks of their lives. She writes of the phenomenal clarity of vision that people gain at the end of their lives and how we might learn from their wisdom. Aloha everyone, and welcome to your podcast for Joyful Serenity. My name is Pia and I am grateful to be a part of your journey in becoming. I am always connected to my father in spirit, especially in this time of the year. And it's something that my whole family is doing. So this is a very special episode for me. And although he didn't die in palliative care because he was only 49 years old when he died, there are some things that I would love to share with you today because this book has really changed my view on life, and it helped me through a time where it was really tough for me to understand and make sense out of everything. And please get me right, there's just times where you're not looking for a sense, where you're just grieving. And I think this is a process that is with me still, of course, but has a different quality. And I want to share with you these top 5 regrets of the dying that author Bronnie Ware shares in her book, and just maybe give yourself the space to really feel if this touches you and if there's anything that you can take out of this episode and maybe also out of this book. I will link it in the show notes for you. So, as witnessed by her, here are the 5 regrets, the top 5 regrets of the dying. The first one is, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And this was the most common regret of all. You've heard me say it over and over again. In situations where we experience a certain emotion, pain, loss, whatever it is, we don't really see the bigger picture. It's the same with excitement and with joy. Oftentimes, we don't really see what the moment is giving us, is teaching us. It really needs some time. But this courage to live a life true to yourself and not the life others expect of you, I can definitely feel this one. And I did when I read the book. So if you know me, you know that I'm going big for my dreams. And the great thing is that my parents always supported me in this. And even if yours haven't, it is not too late because you're still alive. You're still here. So every day is a chance to go for them. And maybe on your last day, not to have this regret of courage and having the courage to living the life true to yourself rather than the expectations of others. The second one is, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Now, again, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. She says that this came from every male patient that she nursed. That they missed their children's youth and their partner's companionship. Women also spoke of this regret, but most were from an older generation. Many of the female patients she cared for had not been breadwinners. So I can just guess, because I didn't have the chance to talk about this with him in person, but he has been a hard worker all his life. But he loved what he did. That's a great thing. So I wish I hadn't worked so hard. This is also a regret that I take as an inspiration to take care of myself and to remind myself that this is something that I don't want to take to the grave with me. I want to make sure I lived fully. And yes, I'm working very dedicated and I love what I do. And yes, I still want to make time for other things because there's love, there's relationship, there's family, there's friends. The third regret is I wish I had had the courage to express my feelings. Maybe you can relate to that one too. So many people suppress their feelings in order to keep peace with others. And this is also what she describes in her book. And as a result, they settled for a mediocre existence and never became who they were truly capable of becoming. And many developed illnesses relating to the bitterness and resentment they carried as a result. Listen closely. Keeping feelings inside yourself, they will eat you up alive. There's so many illnesses that come from suppressed feelings. There's so much studies and so many books about this. So maybe think about your situation yourself. How is it? Do you suppress your feelings or do you allow yourself to truly share what it is that you're feeling rather than keeping it inside? And maybe take this as an opportunity to do it different. Because it's never too late. As long as we're here on this earth, every day we can make a difference. The fourth regret is I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. She describes in her book that often they would not truly realize the full benefits of old friends until their dying weeks. And then it wasn't possible to track them down. So many had been caught up in their own lives and had let really great friendships slip over the years. There were also many deep regrets about not giving friendships the time and effort that they deserved. How is it in your life? How is it with your friends? Have you connected with old friends, maybe from school, that you had lost touch with? Is there anyone, if you would die today, anybody, any friend from the past that you would like to call, to talk with, to learn about their lives? The fifth regret is I wish that I had let myself be happier. And this is for her a surprisingly common one. She says that many of her patients did not realize until the end that happiness is a choice. They had been stuck in old patterns and habits. The so-called comfort of familiarity overflowed into their emotions as well as their physical lives. Fear of change had them pretending to others and to themselves that they were content when deep within they really longed to love properly and just be silly, just have the silliness in their life again. You can check in with yourself right now. You're here, you're alive. And just imagine for a moment, if you die today, would there be any of these 5 regrets that you would take with you? I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life others expected of me. Or I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Or I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I wish that I had let myself be happier. You know what the best thing is? If you are listening to this episode, you are still here. You're here on this earth, and you can change the course of what happens in your life and what you want for your life now. You don't have to wait till the last 12 weeks of your life, because you never know when they happen. And for my father, for example, he didn't know. It was overnight. He was 49 years old. He was just gone. So yes, there were no regrets that were obvious, but maybe take this episode as an inspiration to just think about your life right now. And if there's anything that you want to take care of in your life, maybe a dream that you don't want to keep with you when you're gone, maybe some more leisure time, some more free time, which I'm working on currently. Maybe the courage to express your feelings, maybe practicing expressing your feelings, and also staying in touch with friends, making a call now, write that friend today, and also letting yourself be happy and acknowledging the fact that you can and you're allowed to do that right now, and you don't have to wait till it's over. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I hope it gave you some inspiration, maybe some courage, some energy to really live life to the fullest and not wait, because tomorrow is never promised and today is everything we have. This moment right now. I hear you next time, and I would love for you to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you have not done so, please follow me here at this, subscribe to this podcast. You can also refer it to friends if you feel like this is something you want to share with others too. And I hear you next time.